So I wrote this book because I wanted to offer something about the journey of I can't remember any of the shit I just said.
Because you're speaking from your heart. Just speak from your heart.
That's fine then. I'll just do it when I'm there. It'll be fine.
It will be fine. But you were talking about why you did it in the beginning.
Yeah.
For your own personal reasons. That's how it started.
I wanted to write about the experiences I've had and things that have led me to high places and dark places, and acknowledge my own journey through depression, anxiety, mental health issues, emotional maturity, finding a balance in my heart and my soul and my mind, which our mind controls so much of us, and we think that it controls everything, but really our body and our heart are in control. Our mind is just like the computer that makes sure everything's working. But when I wrote the book, I realized that I had found my life's work and my purpose. I do other things, other art forms, and I love to create and collaborate, and as many people as I can be a part of their lives, I want to be in general, and to promote other people and their work and their art. But this book is something that I wanted to share with men and young men in the hopes that their journey might not be as dark, or they might go to a dark place and then find themselves coming back to the light and realizing that recovery and like AA, NA, any program, any kind of counseling, any kind of therapy, any kind of mental health thing is nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be completely proud of, and that's what our generation's finally doing. That's why people are public about their AA birthday or their NA birthday online. They say, I've got 2 years sober, and one generation ago it was a completely closeted thing because America has always had a superficial front to it. We have so many underlying issues, but we always try to like portray ourselves as the best country on earth, when really like there's more problems here than any other developed country. And places like Orange County have, superior wealth and so many good-looking people walking around, and they also have the highest prescription antidepressant. They have the highest, plastic surgery. They have the highest rates of all those things that people are wearing masks for, to hide their pain and their trauma and their lack of self-worth. And it's not their fault. It's our society has programmed them to be that way. And so when we find other people that have gone on a journey, that have brought themselves to a strong place in their heart, in their soul, in their mind, in their body, they are willing to help others get to that place. And that's what I wanted this book to be, something that people can read, and hopefully it will inspire them to do anything positive, whether it's exercising and getting out and meeting new people and trying new things, and becoming a business person, or just bringing something new to their life that they might not have ever tried before, because that's been my journey. I opened a skateboard shop when I was 17 years old. I took my GED at 16 to get out of school because I knew my journey wasn't gonna be the normal step-by-step, American, go to college, do this, get a job, get a house, get a wife, blah, blah, blah. I just wasn't on that path. And I think it's easier to take the normal route because you have a lot more support. But the people that choose to go their own way, they're always left in their own reality, and we're breaking down the walls of what is success, what is what makes you happy. And what makes you happy is feeling good in your body, in yourself, like who you are, not what you've achieved, not what school you graduated from, not like any of those things. It's feeling healthy in your body. And that's recognizing your faults, which faults aren't a bad thing. Faults, when I say that, I mean it like it's something that you might not have any control over. Like disease is an addiction. It's not like you personally just being like, oh, I have to have that. It's something that's beyond your control. So it's not when I say a fault, it's like it's not something you're doing. It's something that is there that you have no control over. And that's why people find spirituality through their recovery, and they find a higher power, and it gives them power to take back control of their lives and their body. And my belief is that so much of it is physical. Like when we go through things as a child, we internalize things, and everything becomes a part of your body, like a scar, like a scab or something. But it's not visual, so it's just there in your body. So you have to, in my opinion, find ways to counteract that energy, that it's going to be there no matter what. It'll never go away. It's like a scar. Your skin, that it heals, but that scar is there for the rest of your life. So it's the same with trauma or pain or loss, like when someone dies that you loved, like a parent. My father passed away when I was 21, my sister when I was 15, and so those were like basically like wounds in my chest, in my heart, that there's no way to fill that void. Although when I did have a son, I would say seeing him smile at me, everything goes away. Like as soon as I see him smile, it's just like there's nothing else in the world. So if you're ever scared about having a child and the responsibility or those things, like don't be. As long as you've come to a place, like there's so many people that wait. They're like, oh, I'm gonna wait till the right time, I'm gonna wait till I'm married, I'm gonna wait till this. And it's like, if you know that's part of what you have to give, is the love that you give to a child, and you've been around children or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There's never going to be the right time. And I've learned that as an entrepreneur, I've learned that as an artist, I've learned that as a father, and so many other things. Like when you want something, you have to do it, and there's no other way. And that's basically what this book is about. It's just finding yourself and finding new ways to create life and evolve yourself to a place where you can be your best self and share that with others. And I feel like there's going to be other things it leads to, which is like men's groups, or just men and people in general getting together, men being able to talk about emotions. The concept of boys don't cry is just bullshit. Men are only allowed to cry at like weddings and funerals or whatever. It's like nobody wants to be crying in a public place, but like anytime a man is being vulnerable, he should feel like he's like embraced, whether it's physically or whatever, just like embraced by the people around him. And so it's not scary. Like it doesn't mean that someone is crazy or they're going through, like obviously with mental health there's levels to things where people can go to scary places where they need medicine, they need psychiatry, they need psychology, all of those things. But just in general, I think the concept of switching masculinity and femininity and blending things and changing our dynamic of a patriarchal world where men are in control is to allow men to feel like a feminine side. Even though it doesn't take away from their masculinity, it allows them to just be a more balanced human being. And the same with women. Obviously, women have stepped into full power now, and there's women in the military serving in combat. Women's sports are seen and recognized as just as powerful as any men's sport. So it's a beautiful time to be living in for that. But there's a lot of work to do still. So mainly this book is just for men to read in general, but obviously I want women to read it as well. But there's a follow-up book, which is women's testimonials about their experiences with the patriarchy in general and just men, that I think will help change some dynamics in like old world traditions that really just set young girls into a pattern of feeling like they have to do something or have to wait to, you know, have sex till a certain age, and all those things that are just men controlling women and girls from a young age, and it's not healthy. And so I think counteracting both men being more comfortable and balanced and evolved at the same time, women saying that, you know, true equality will come from everyone being treated equally, will be like, it's part of that. So that's mainly what it's about, is just offering something for people to interpret how they want, and to hopefully other people like contribute and help change our society in their own ways as our generation, the millennials, become leaders and, you know, people in power and positions, that we can make laws and change things. So just want to help change people and help them change for the better.